in Aubagne, near Marseille, at the recruitment center of the Foreign Legion.
C'est quoi ça? C'est pas un asile pour les réfugiés politiques ici. Voyez-vous ça? Heureusement, les gens étrangers, il est ici pour vous apprendre les choses correctement, là.
For whoever wants to enter into the Foreign Legion, it is here that it all begins. But before wearing the legionnaires' famous white kepi, there will be many severe hurdles to overcome. 8,000 candidates come from around the world every year, but only 1,000 are selected. The first step, the recruiting office.
Yes.
So, you want to enter the Foreign Legion?
Ukraine.
What nationality are you? Tell him to empty his pockets and his bag on the table. The Foreign Legion, 130 nationalities, 7,600 soldiers, the majority from Eastern Europe and Asia. For many, they come in the hope of a better life. Me, I'm from the streets, and to be honest, I've been in and out of jail. I'm hoping my luck will change, and maybe that the Legion will help me. As this candidate, there are many who want to start their lives over again. The Foreign Legion can offer them a second chance. I live in Nice, but my mother threw me out because I did nothing and she'd had enough of it. I believe in the Legion, that they're going to straighten me out, and afterwards I'll be a man. Every day, the recruiting office receives an average 15 candidates of all social and cultural origins. Why do you want to join the Foreign Legion? To change my life, to get a profession, to have a future. I grew up in France. I know France. I owe nothing to Turkey. So I want to join the French army. One of the particularities of the Foreign Legion is the obligatory change of identity, even for French citizens. As you know, when you enter the Foreign Legion, you're going to be recruited under a stated identity. Therefore, I'm going to give you a new name. Your declared place of birth will be Ankara. Your father's first name is going to change also. Let's call him Abdel.
Le prénom de votre père, il va changer aussi, donc il s'appellera Abdel.
But don't worry, after you'll have the papers, so that you can remember all of this. To join up, the French must become foreigners. Besides, here one doesn't say French, one says Gaul. The Legion gives them a French-speaking nationality, Swiss, Belgian, Canadian, or Monegasque. So you're going to join under Canadian nationality. Does that suit you? Well, that's no problem for me. So now I'm a small part of the Legion. On this morning, there are 6 candidates looking to join and face the selection procedure that is going to last 10 days. Nivikov, Ukrainian, age 27. Liedelson, Brazilian, 30. Munteanu, Romanian, 26. Rudin from Kazakhstan, 18. Zuber, Ivory Coast, Croatian, 27. And Bernet, French-Swiss, 29. Well, right now I'm going to establish the basics. This is not a holiday camp. You're here from 2 to 10 days, shut in, no phone calls, no leave. So if there's anyone who thinks he can't cope with that, you can leave right now. It's not even worthwhile continuing. Undress. In the barracks, civilian clothes are forbidden. They may not yet be part of the military, but they receive a uniform of sorts, a simple tracksuit. When you hear your name, reply. Get your bags. Everything on the table. To belong to the Foreign Legion, one must make a clean sweep of the past. Go down there. Personal belongings, jewelry, cell phones. The Legion confiscates all for the duration of the training. That's a tough start. And it's only the beginning of the tests that are about to get underway. Now, 3 selective tests and potential elimination straight away. Let me explain. A psychotechnical test. Those that have the mental aptitude of a mollusk, you will get no further. Therefore, if the result of the test is less than 10, you'll be out.
10 minutes. Qu'est-ce que vous avez dans la tête?
Test Cooper. On vous demande
Cooper test. One asks you to run a minimum of 2,700 meters in less than 12 minutes. Those of you who are tortoises or have built-in brakes, you'll be packing your bags. For the less fit, the verdict is instantaneous. You'll never make it.
Allez, ferme ta gueule en avant.
Keep going, keep going.
Qu'est-ce que vous traînez derrière lui là? En avant, en avant, en avant, doublez-lui là.
Go, go, go.
Il y a un moment qu'on crie.
Well, one shouts a little to put them in the spirit. They've done all right, and it's good for them.
C'est bien pour lui.
Fallu s'arracher là un peu.
Yeah, you had to hang in there.
ce qu'on demande.
That's what we've got to do, and there's going to be more of this.
Test médical.
Medical test. If your members are healthy, you continue until you make the grade.
Normalement, vous continuez jusqu'en commission.
Les preuves qui les attendent, je pense qu'il faudra être bien en forme.
Well, given all the tests that await them, they need to be in good shape.
C'est leur unique porte de sortie, donc
There's no lying about their health records. It's a chance to get a European passport.
C'est quelque chose d'intéressant.
So we look out for anybody that might be lying about their medical
Ils
records.
essaient de cacher des antécédents médicaux.
The group passed the first 3 tests and has won a session at the hairdresser. Their hair is cut the Legion way. It's another step on the path to the coveted white kepi, the regulation 2 millimeters that makes everybody look the same.
Vous vous sentez devenir des légionnaires?
You feel like you're legionnaires? Well, nearly. Nevertheless, there's a feeling of unity since now we're all in the same boat. We're starting to bond as a unit. There are those who cleared the first hurdle and those who didn't, because they failed one of the first 3 tests. The Legion calls them the repressed. For a lot of these men, it's back to square one, a simple train ticket in their pockets, and ahead of them, an uncertain future. For the group that stays on, there's no question of claiming victory. More tests await them. Stand to attention in 2 ranks, line up. Come on, come on. Line up.
Il y a carrelage au sol. Il y a carrelage au sol. Au sol. Alignez-vous. Les vacances sont terminées.
The holidays are finished.
Vous avez, vous êtes plein dedans maintenant.
You wanted it, now you're in it.
Servir avec honneur.
You're right in it.
Servir pour les
You'll be here to serve in the Foreign Legion for the next 5 years.
Servir le système.
Maintenant réfléchissez bien, je vous donne exactement.
I want you all to think.
3 minutes.
You've got 3 minutes. It's your last chance to change your minds.
Pour être vraiment sûr.
If you don't want to go back to being a civilian, you stay. Now's the chance.
Teraz ostatnie 3 minuty, żeby zastanowić się. Kto chce iść do domu? Teraz. Sierżancie, ja do domu, bo potem jest za późno. 5 lat. C'est qui veut partir civil?
Anybody want to leave? Raise your hands.
Somebody want to go back home? Nobody? Sure? Ok. C'est bon.
Allez, rassemblement dehors.
Form up outside. Go, go.
Allez, mon bro, allez, monsieur, parce qu'il y a des temps de se réveiller déjà. Oui.
Vous êtes...
Being quite aggressive. Are you acting out your instructor's role? Well, it is my role. It's normal.
C'est normal, j'essaye de mettre un peu leur parfum, parce que quand même...
I want them to get a taste of what's lying ahead. I mean, this is the army. And we train them in the old-fashioned way. It's tough.
Qui vont aller distribuer les colis Croix-Rouge, ce sont des soldats qui vont protéger la France. Donc il faut qu'on soit vrais soldats. Donc les soldats...
We want them to become real soldiers.
Rassemblement! Et en avant! Rassemblement, tout le monde face à moi. Face à moi, face à moi, face à moi, face à moi.
Form up, facing me. Come on, in one column.
Repos.
At ease. The psychological pressure never ends. Munteanu, Zuber, Liedelsen, Rudin, Nivikov and Bernet all are going to prove they have their place in the Legion. The corporal in charge of recruits makes them wait for half an hour without moving and facing the sun. People, they wait, and one observes if they're motivated. The people who are not motivated, they'll soon ask to leave. But the people who are motivated, well, they know, they understand that this is part of the selection process. Come on, wake yourselves up. Come on, form up, facing me in a column. No, that's crap. Wake yourselves up. At ease. Over here now. Better. At ease. Well, I hope that they're as motivated as I was when I arrived here. I dreamt of wearing the white kepi, and now I do. I think for them it's the same thing. They think of Africa, the desert, and all of that. A legionnaire's life. For me, someone that comes to the Legion is someone that's looking for adventure, to be a man, to spend life with a white kepi, one of just 7,000 in the whole world. It's something sacred. But you have to earn the right to become one of the few. In addition to the tests, every candidate is subjected to several interviews. Well, in terms of safety, we don't take recruits who have murdered or committed perverted crimes, people with a serious criminal past.
Nous sommes obligés, par un certain nombre d'entretiens de sécurité, de savoir un petit peu les antécédents de ces personnels.
Zuber, présent lieutenant. Très bien. Assis-toi.
Sit down.
Zuber
Yaska, Croatian nationality. Do you speak French? Where did you learn your French? Well, I was born in French-speaking Africa, in the Ivory Coast, to be more precise, and that's where I learned French. So how come you're Croatian? Well, my mother, she was Croatian. Have you had any problems with the police or the law? Never. Never? Never. You take drugs? Well, some. I did once, but that was a very long time ago. And do you have any debts, or do you owe people money? Nope. So why are you here? You have no problems. Do you still stay in touch with your ex-girlfriend? Yes, we get on fine. Seems to me there could be a little love story that's gone wrong here. Does she miss you since you separated?
No.
No. Well, I asked him to be very precise because I felt it might have been his incentive, a sentimental disappointment, shall we say. And maybe it was the case. There's always a reason. It doesn't last a very long time usually, and anyway, I'm not really sure if that was his incentive.
Si c'est pas ça sa motivation essentielle.
All candidates undergo several interviews and answer the same questions every time. Their answers will be checked and analyzed. Their pasts will be studied carefully. And to this end, the recruiting officers have access to Interpol police records. Searching for individuals on the police's computer files takes barely a few hours. If the Legion refuses serious crime, it turns a blind eye to lesser misdemeanors. For a few, it's a chance to set the counter to zero. When someone is accepted into the Legion, his secrets, whatever they are nobody else's business.
Hey, hurry
up.
On applique le garde-vous quand je montrais déjà.
Come on, stand to attention like I've shown you before.
C'est comme ça je montrais le garde-vous. Qu'est-ce que tu me
Is that how I showed you to stand to attention? What's this?
Hey, levez la tête un peu là. Soyez
Head up.
de votre état, des futurs
Be
légionnaires.
proud of your future as legionnaires.
Serre-moi ton ceinture.
Well, some of you.
Prépare le John Wayne, tu enlèves et tu me serres.
All right, tighten up your belts. Come on, I don't want cowboys out here.
Code d'honneur de légionnaire.
Now we're seeing the code of honor of the legionnaires.
Sors de rang, face à la section.
Nivikov, step out of the ranks, raise your head.
Face à tes camarades.
Come over here.
Mets la garde-vous correctement.
Stand to attention properly.
Lève la tête.
Head up.
Les grimaces, c'est parti. Légionnaire.
That's better. Legionnaire, I am a volunteer serving France with honor and loyalty. And every legionnaire is
C'est une grosse merde.
That's crap. I noticed Coca-Cola and chocolate makes you soft. I've told you, take coffee, black coffee, that gives you the knack. No chocolate, no milk, and any of the other things. Otherwise, you'll completely lobotomize yourselves.
Section 1, à droite.
Face right.
Commençons par colonne d'engagés volontaires au lier. On fait des rangs pour les autres pots.
Break out. Is it difficult for the foreigners?
Non, c'est pas difficile. Ça, c'est la question.
No, it's not difficult at all. It's just a question of willpower. They have everything they need in various languages, and the Legion's Code of Honor comes from here, in the heart.
Ils ont des traductions dans toutes les langues, donc ils savent qu'est-ce qu'il y a à apprendre. Donc ça, c'est rien.
Learning the honor code is obligatory. It's also the means to check the cohesion of the group. Bernet, the French-speaking recruit, knows he has to help Rudin, the Kazakh. After 1 week of tests and observation, what's at stake is getting the work contract. Okay, the committee can begin its work. We've got 30 candidates today, and we can only take 17 of them, in theory.
Théoriquement 17.
Okay, let's start with the first, Bernet. Well, he's open, he's communicative, educated, honest, works hard, good incentive. Yes, good. He's already passed the military degree course. He's spent 6 years in the regular forces. I have a favourable opinion too. Good candidate. He's hired. Next. The only question mark is a dubious love affair. He thought seriously about it before making his decision to come here. He said it was all over. Okay. Well, let's see. Okay, we'll take him. Volunteer recruit Zuber. Nivikov. Very motivated. He never even got his visa, so he crossed the borders illegally to get here.
Donc il a essayé d'obtenir un visa qu'il n'a pas pu obtenir. Il a obtenu simplement un visa pour la Pologne.
Well, he got a visa for Poland, but beyond that, he made his own way here, so he's very determined.
Donc en février à la nage, donc je pense qu'il est particulièrement motivé. Allez, on prend.
Engagé volontaire Nivikov.
Présent, mon lieutenant.
Engagé volontaire Rudin.
Présent, mon lieutenant.
Rudin, the Kazakh, Lidelson, the Brazilian, and Munteanu, the Romanian, also received their employment contracts.
Présent, mon lieutenant.
They are no longer candidates. They're now successful recruits. A first step, and one that allows them to start their training in earnest. They have now signed up to serve 5 years with honor and loyalty. But even the slightest wrong move, and they'll be shown the way out. Gore-Tex jacket in the bag. They receive their first pack, the fighting man's kit, and also the famous white kepi of the legionnaires. The kepi is still wrapped in plastic. Don't touch the kepi.
Blanc, niet.
They'll get the chance to try their white kepis, but just for a few minutes. It's just to try it on. We haven't the right to wear it yet. It's just to try. We're still not legionnaires yet, no. Long way to go. They'll earn the right to wear their white kepi in 1 month, under the condition they pass their first phase of training. In the meanwhile, they have the Legion's green beret, a beret that Zuber has difficulty in putting on his head. It's not a tractor driver's beret, it's the Legion's beret. Put it on properly. The next day, the recruits are leaving for Castelnaudry, near Toulouse, for 4 months' training. I hope that in the next 4 months you are going to work hard, and that I'll see you again in 4 months' time, ready to join your regiments. And of course, coming back wearing your white kepi. I have no sympathy for those that don't make it. Right, you're now at the disposal of the 4th Regiment, and you'll be under their orders for the next 4 months.
Go!
Allez, en avant!
Close the bags and put the bags on the cabinets. On the eve of departure, there are those that are happy and those, like Zuba, who have their doubts.
Quelques sentiments d'appréhension.
Well, some apprehension because it's a new start. It'll be completely different from here at Aubagne.
Are you happy to go to Castelnaudary?
Yes. Yes.
Good?
Very good.
I see my dream. Today, here. I go to the castle, and after the castle, I will make my dream to be a legionnaire.
Narvik, Bir Hakeim, Dien Bien Phu, Kolwezi, the Foreign Legion's battle honours are part of history. It's maybe this prestige that continues to attract the young from all over the world looking for adventure. But for the new generation, the Legion also means a secure employment, at least for 5 years.
I came here for discipline, friendship, and money, of course. But if you don't like the life in the army, you cannot do this. You cannot be in the Legion if you don't like the army.
How do you know that you like the army?
I like the army because I like it since I was young. I see movies when I was young, little.
On the approach to Castelnaudary, the train passes the Danjou district, the Foreign Legion's instruction and training centre.
No fear about Castel?
No fear. If you have fear, you cannot do nothing. Without fear. Mama, Papa, PlayStation. Here, not PlayStation. Here, FAMAS.
Near the barracks, in a farm cut off from the rest of the world. This is where the recruits spend their first month of training. Well, if you're not tired, you can redo the whole circuit. Look, where are the targets? Where's the enemy? The strain of military training is the first real test for the platoon. On the program, sport, assault courses, weaponry, night exercises. The recruits learn to go beyond their physical and mental limits. I want to see how far I can go, psychologically. Is that part of the challenge? Oh yeah, definitely. The competition. You've got to fight for your place here, you know. You've got 5 minutes to polish your boots. At any moment, the instructors could send home those that don't make the grade. So the recruits dig in.
Allez, on y va, Accélère. Engagement le Tazuba de base. Présent, caporal. Rassemblement en colonne par 4, en colonne couvrée. Seconde sourire, vous les passez rapidement. Sinon, je vais m'en occuper, moi. Opposition.
Debout. Attention. Debout. Attention. Debout. Attention.
Si on les stresse pas un petit peu.
If one doesn't apply pressure, they're going to let themselves go. I would say that for this profession, that's no good. You can't let them run free.
Gauche. Faut pas se permettre de les laisser, j'allais dire en liberté.
Well, probably free isn't the right word, but they can't take it easy.
C'est un petit peu ça, quoi.
Showers at 2200 and then sleep. But even after a long, hard day, there's no letting up. Everything is done by the clock. It's speed, speed, speed the whole time. You have to rush to eat, rush to wash, rush to dress, and especially rush if you want to use the toilets.
Vous vous attendiez à ça ou pas?
Did you think it would be like this? Oh, I knew it was going to be relentless, and it's only just the beginning, really. Finally, it's time for bed. But before that, there's yet another room inspection. At ease? Now listen up. I don't want to see your towels like that ever again.
Ta serviette, elle est où?
Where's your towel?
Je m'en fous. Est-ce que c'est ma question, Zuber? Réponds à la question que je te pose.
Where's your towel? Just answer my question.
Qui vous a dit de mettre là-dessous?
Who told you to put the towel down there?
Question, j'attends une réponse.
Personne, caporal.
No one told me to.
Ça, c'est crado.
See, under there it's dirty.
Ça aussi.
And this isn't made up well at all.
Tu te laves le cul avec, tu t'essuies le cul avec. Et le visage, et la bite. Alors, si tu veux choper des boutons, vas-y. Allez, vas-y.
All right, come on, press ups.
Allez, vas-y, c'est pas la peine de compter, tu vas faire longtemps. Hubert, tu m'écoutes là?
Oui, caporal.
Est-ce que j'ai attiré ton attention?
Oui, caporal.
Do you understand what I'm saying now?
Vous les pendez
Yes,
sur les
Corporal.
cintres. Vous les mettez
All right, you can all do these beds up again. Come on.
C'est sale là-dessous.
That's dirty under there. That's terrible.
C'est clair? On dirait un margouillage, Hubert, comme tu penses.
Oui, caporal.
Debout. Ok, dodo.
Okay, sleep now.
Des petits moments de révolte, envie de révolte.
Don't you ever feel like answering back, complaining? That will only be worse. You'd be thrown out straight away and back to being a civilian. I've never seen anyone do that. The recruits have earned a good night's sleep, but here again there are strict rules.
Là, on n'a plus le droit de parler. Je suis désolé.
Talking's not allowed, sorry. I have to go to sleep now. Finally, lights out is at 22:30 hours. At the start, the hardest part of the training is not the chores or the physical work, but learning French. Most of the recruits are starting from scratch.
Alors l'objectif, on reste
The aim here is really quite simple. At the end of the course, each soldier should know about 400 words of basic vocabulary, which comes to about 100 words a month.
Encore. Donc là, ils se mettent par binôme.
So here we do things by two. Marks for French are from 0 to 5. 5 means fluent and 0 means nothing. So I put a 5 with a 0, a 4 with a 1, and so on. It usually works.
C'est à peu près ce que j'essaye de faire. Ok, terminé.
Okay, enough classwork. Go to the sports ground. And those who speak French, please help out those who don't.
Même manique pendant 5 minutes, les francophones, vous faites réviser vos binômes.
Munteanu's French is improving rapidly.
Let's combat.
So I learned French in school in Romania, and it's been quite easy to pick it up again.
Facile. Apprendre français.
Et le drapeau français.
What does that French flag mean to you?
Drapeau français.
The French flag?
Pour ça nous sommes ici.
Well, that's why we're here.
C'est français.
For the Legion. The Legion is French.
Pour la France.
We're fighting for France.
Le drapeau.
And for the flag.
Pour le drapeau.
We'll be defending
on va protéger le drapeau.
The French colours.
Dans le combat. Au combat.
1 month later, on the assault course, and the volunteers are beginning to look like legionnaires.
Voilà, ça va plus vite comme ça là. Attention, baisse la tête, baisse la tête. Lève le bras, d'accord? Chef, il faut que tu prends connaissance de tes actes. Allez, en avant. Là, mets-toi en appui.
À partir d'ici, zone ennemie.
This is the hostile zone now. Now you need to reach that small bend over there.
Formation.
Here's the drill.
Perroquet, comme on l'a vu hier. À devant, il chauffe.
Keep an eye out.
Son binôme qui passe devant. Pap, pap, pap.
You go up by twos.
Si vous voyez
If you see the enemy,
bam, et tout de suite je me poste.
and then take cover.
N'oubliez pas, vous êtes deux.
Don't forget you're working in teams of 2. The aim of this timed obstacle course is to check how well the teams work together. What counts is not finishing first, but finishing together. Each man has to watch the other's back.
Allez, passe devant toi. Je reste ici, je parle pas français là, j'ai dit à l'autre comment ça fait.
Oui, chef.
En avant, les Nico.
Baisse la tête. Allez, Bernard, donne un coup de main pour le camarade. Allez, tire. Allez, go.
Allez, scanne le secteur, mets-toi en appui ici. Cache-toi là, voilà. On n'est pas en vacances ici là. Allez, Zobert, dépêche, la silhouette, au plus bas possible, d'accord? Allez, pas masse dans le dos. Allez, go, c'est parti là. Doucement de l'autre côté. Regarde, scan. Regarde devant. Doucement. Attention.
With the incessant screaming of orders, the recruits' reflexes are subjected to the kind of situation they might face in battle.
Allez, Bernay, avance, putain, bordel, un peu, allez, mets-toi fesse.
Non plus.
Allez, go. Appui mutuel.
Ça vous plaît, ça?
Ah, j'adore ça, moi.
Pourquoi?
Oh, I love it.
Physique.
Oh, it's physical and it's also technical.
Choses assez basiques.
Some basic stuff here. Checking our reflexes.
À cause de la civilisation. Point, sergent.
It's stuff that we've forgotten, you know. Life's been too soft. We've lost the skills to watch, to listen and react to danger, to be warlike. After 20 minutes, Zuber is showing signs of fatigue.
À partir d'ici, tu prépares, vu l'ennemi. 150 mètres, il y a un groupe à 150 mètres. Dis-moi.
Right, where have you put your sights? What level? Where's the ring?
Sur quel chiffre?
Sur 7.
I'll put it on 7.
140. 7 ou 8.
8.
Between 7 and 8.
150, on prend 160, tu mets sur 8.
Now I'll move it up. Put it up at 140 there.
Ok, go. Allez, jusqu'au bout.
Qu'est-ce que vous observez en fait là?
What are you looking for here? Well, their reactions when they're exhausted. You see, they're out of breath, they're tired. We'll see how coherent they are at the end of the exercise. Oh, it's hard. You're punished physically. We don't get much sleep anyway, and now we've got to give maximum effort. You need every last drop of energy. You know, overcome the pain and just do it.
La sortir, de libérer les pulsions et go. Good?
Ça va.
Ok.
Allez, rejoignez vos camarades. Compte rendu au caporal sur le matériel. Voilà, là, ils sont à 2 jours de la
So
marche.
now they're just 2 days away from the White Kepi march.
Pas de fatigue pour effectuer l'exercice. Fatigue supplémentaire.
It'll be tough for them, but after that, they'll be feeling proud.
Voilà. Allez, les 2 suivants, récupérez vos armes.
After 4 weeks of training, it's time to take stock. By now, the instructors know the recruits and their personalities, and to decide if they have the right stuff to wear the white kepi.
Bernet, c'est particulier.
Bernet is special. He's already got military experience, so on that score, he's doing well. And he's also very good at helping out his comrades, and that's excellent, really excellent. Zuber, well, he's a little bit more particular. Zuber's what we'd call the intellectual types, a kind of coffee shop philosopher. He likes to think things through, but he's been getting down to it lately. Rudin's a fighter. I think he's all set. He'll be going to the 2nd Regiment of Legion paratroopers. Monteanu is harder to judge. Now, he works well, he's dynamic, but it's a bit too early for me to pass judgment.
Deuxième section, à mon commandement, repos. Bon, aujourd'hui et demain.
Today and tomorrow is the White Kepi march. You all know what that means for you. Those that finish will receive their white kepis from General Dari next Monday.
Allez, prenez vos famas.
It's the most important test in their 4 months of training, the so-called White Kepi March, 50 kilometers in 2 days, and with a 25-kilo pack, it's no picnic. So long as they finish the course, these volunteers will become members of the Legion. The first 25-kilometer stage will be extremely hard on their feet. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that really hurts. Yeah, he's got a huge burst blister. It's not easy to walk on.
Elle est éclatée. C'est pas évident pour marcher.
Okay, no problem.
Today I sleep, tomorrow it'll be okay.
No matter.
Rudin, the Kazakh, is not the only one to suffer.
Trop mal.
Oh, I'm hurting badly. We'll just carry on and take care of it tonight, I suppose. I'm not going to give up now. We're halfway there. There's nothing that works as well as some strong hot wine to keep the men going.
Voilà. C'est bon.
After a month of hardships, the instructors loosen up a little. Volunteer Farwood is Australian and leads the section in a tribal war dance.
L'atmosphère.
It's a great atmosphere. It's wonderful.
Très jolie l'atmosphère. Tout le monde qui chante.
Everybody's singing in their own songs, in their own language.
De leur pays. Et ça c'est très joli.
It's great.
La Roumanie, ça manque un
Do
petit
you miss Romania?
Oui, ça manque un peu.
Yes, a bit.
Mais je pense.
But I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking of the future. You can't think of the past. That doesn't do anybody any good.
Problème et ça c'est pas bon pour moi. On est dans l'armée, si on pense.
We're in the army. I don't want to think of problems.
Quel problème?
Like what kind of problems?
Problème de la.
Oh, just life. Life. Monteanu remains tight-lipped about his past. No one here talks of their past, and as far as the Foreign Legion is concerned, these men were born the day they joined up. At nightfall, and everyone is under canvas. Rudin is settling into his tent. Nice small house. A small house he has to share with his oppo, Bernet. Hey Rudin, what are you going to dream of tonight? Food, and smoking. Bernet is 29. Rudin is just 18. He's almost like a younger brother, but Bernet knows little about him. Language remains a barrier.
Qu'est-ce que vous connaissez de sa vie, Rudin? Qu'est-ce que je connaissais?
What do I know about Rudin?
Qu'il a mis 8 jours pour arriver.
Not much. I know how he got here, and that's about it. Sometimes he talks about his mother, his sister, his brothers, and that how he's going to send them money so that they can have a good education and schooling.
Petit, je veux armée.
I always wanted to be a soldier ever since I was small. Army blood runs in my family. My brother fought in Afghanistan during the time of Gorbachev and the USSR. But the Kazakh army is no good. And now I'm 18, I'm in the Legion. Legion is good. I want a career here. Everybody up? It's an early start.
Bon, il y a une chanson qui dit à la Légion.
Well, you know, there's a song in the Legion that it's not enough to have a drink to become a Legionnaire. You need to be the first.
Pour boire un coup, vous avez été premier, mais pas pour.
You were the first to drink, but you're not the first to be getting up this morning. Today it's back to barracks and at the end of the white kepi march. Same distance as yesterday, but a little harder. So tighten your asses and we'll make it back to base. 25 kilometers to go. The pace is quicker than the previous day. The 25-kilo weight of the backpack seems to be getting heavier as each kilometer drags by. After a 6-hour march, they reach the base. Rudin is all smiles. He knows he's won his white kepi. He and his comrades are now legionnaires.
Fatigué là. Fatigué. Zuber aussi fatigué.
Tired, huh?
Non. Fatigué.
Nah, I'm not tired.
Tellement fatigué. Non. Après.
Pas fini encore.
I haven't finished yet. And indeed, the day is far from over. First, they have to clean their weapons. Then they'll get a chance to rest when everything is spotless.
Est-ce que t'as fini ici, Zuber? Vu que tu l'as posé.
You think you finished, Zuber?
Tu penses, mais tu l'es pas là.
Well, you might think so.
C'est bien ça. Regarde!
Look at this.
Zuber, ça fait.
Listen, you've been cleaning this for an hour and a half.
1h30. Tu m'as dit 3 fois que t'as fini.
You told me you'd finished.
Le travail pas bien fait. Continue.
Right, we'll keep doing it until it's done properly. Even after a forced march, when everyone's tired, you need to keep going. Dig in. Just because you're tired doesn't mean you can give up now. No way. First clean your weapons. That's what it says in the manual. Finally, the reward. All tiredness is forgotten. It's time to wear the dress uniform. Oh, that's the best. What does it mean to you?
C'est le contraste entre le.
Well, it's the difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary.
C'est ça, quoi. Et moi, mon rêve, ce serait de me marier dans cette tenue, ça aller à l'église dans cette tenue-là, ce serait. Ouais, c'est le top, ça.
Well, that's the best.
Ouais, c'est la classe, quoi. Une cérémonie avec des militaires, ouais, c'est tout en
perfect for military ceremonies.
Ça a de la gueule, quoi. Oh, il manque encore un peu.
Well, still missing a few decorations, a few medals.
Une médaille, quoi.
But give me 2 years and they'll all be up there.
2 ans, c'est décoré. Ouais, c'est le jour J, les gars.
Okay, D-Day, guys. Make yourselves presentable.
Dans le couloir.
Engagés volontaires.
Volunteers.
L'heure est venue pour
the time has come
de renouveler
to
l'engagement
renew the vows
il y a quelques semaines.
that you made a few weeks ago.
Vous allez en effet à présent
You're about to receive
recevoir votre képi blanc.
your white kepis.
Ce képi est la
The
marque
kepi
d'une
is the
unité
symbol
d'élite au passé
of an elite
prestigieux,
force with a unique tradition
couverte de gloire,
which has covered
au
itself
service
in
de la
glory
France.
in the name of France.
Coiffez vos képis.
White kepis
Blanc.
on.
Nous promettons de servir
We swear to serve with honor and loyalty.
chaque légionnaire
est enfant, quelle que soit sa nationalité, sa race ou sa religion.
en combat.
Nous agissons passion et
The Legionnaire's oath, part of the passing out ceremony.
nous n'abandonnons jamais ni des morts, ni des blessés, ni des âmes.
Légionnaire Zuber, à vos ordres, mon capitaine.
Zuber, tu viens de quelle nationalité tu
Where do you come from, Zuber?
Capitaine.
Croate.
Croatia.
Très bien. Ça s'est bien passé.
Well done.
Oui, mon capitaine.
C'est bon.
Sur Internet, mon général.
C'est mon grand. Bien, félicitations, bienvenue à la Légion.
Congratulations, welcome to the Legion. Zuber and his comrades are now legionnaires, but there's still 3 months of training to undergo before being posted to their regiments. The Foreign Legion welcomes its new members in time-honored tradition, with pudding and white wine. Now I'm a legionnaire. Are you proud? I'm very proud, yes.
Quand je partis de mon pays,
It's all I've been thinking about since I left home.
j'ai pensé toujours,
Always thought about it,
je peux réussir ou je ne peux pas réussir.
whether I could make it or not.
Je n'étais sûr, très sûr.
But I thought I would be able to,
J'arrivais ici et je
and
suis
I've done it.
légionnaire.
It's a wonderful day. It's been my dream.
Et on continue.
Now it's action.
L'action.
I want to get into action.
L'action.
9,000 kilometers away in French Guiana, an adventure park for the Foreign Legion. Just a short distance from the border with Brazil, this is the CEFE, the Equatorial Forest Training Center. This is where legionnaires learn about jungle warfare. These men are part of the 2nd Battalion, 3rd Regiment of Legion Infantry. They've been in Guyana for a few weeks. They'll stay for 2 years. For the past week, they've been undergoing jungle training. To meet the tough standards, they'll need to stick it out another week. If they make it, they'll earn the right to undergo missions in the selva, the Amazon rainforest. There's nowhere to hide out here. You can either take it or you can't. And if you can't take it, they'll know right away. That's what's good about being here. The ultimate aim is to create a cohesive unit. These conditions will help achieve a well-disciplined, integrated unit. The men are aged between 20 and 37, officers, NCOs and legionnaires. They have all volunteered to serve in Guyana. Men like Corporal Kim, who's from South Korea and a 6-year veteran. What did you think it would be like here? Oh, it's great. Perfect. Excellent. Good training. I love it. Come on, are we going to save him? Come on. If you're not even prepared to suffer for France, how can I think you're prepared to die for her?
Comment vous allez me faire croire que vous êtes prêt à mourir? Viens ici là.
Come here, you.
Portez. Lève-toi, mets-toi normal.
Warrant Officer Lopez is an instructor, a 47-year-old Spaniard. He's a living legend in the Legion. See, this is how you carry him. Lift him up like this. See, I can even run and hold my rifle. He served in the Legion for 22 years, 8 of which in Guyana, a record. He's out to test the soldiers' physical limits and to spot their psychological weak points.
Hey, tout le monde a rampé, on va chercher papier. Rampez autour de votre bivouac. Cherchez mon papier, chacun un papier. T'as pas vu ton papier, t'as passé dessous là. Tu veux pas te salir la main. Tu veux pas salir ta gueule, tu veux pas la salir.
You don't want to get dirty?
Hey, tout le monde est sur lui.
Yes, I do, sir. Come on, everyone, pile on top of him. We want to develop a sense of injustice here, to make him feel he's been unfairly treated. It'll make him more aggressive. He won't understand that now, just like that, on reflex, but afterwards he'll understand. Have you had enough? Come on, Curva. Be a man, keep going.
Most
legionnaires are already physically in good shape when they get here, so we focus on their psychological issues. Porter, you're the casualty. Got to think like a casualty. And you'll die like a casualty. Your mission is to survive another day. There are 2 types of animal, the prey, those that are constantly on the run, and the predator, those that constantly hunt. He needs to think and react like the hunter. We'll reassess him since he doesn't have any self-confidence. I won't be able to change what's in his head. But physically, I'm just going to keep on top of him. But, within limits. Sometimes, we might get carried away. And that's why there's a doctor always around just to make sure all is well. Your face, come on, look aggressive. Give me the look.
En position.
Okay, get down.
Okay, couché.
I think here they'll be surprised by this. They have no idea what's coming up. They'll be anxious, scared and uncertain. Basically, they're clueless. It's a good psychological test. Inside the hood, the prisoner is Corporal Kim, one of the toughest men in the platoon. Without making any noise, the instructor places a dummy detonator between Kim's legs. What are you thinking about? I'm just waiting to see what's happening. Maybe we've been taken prisoner. I don't know yet. Well, you haven't even flinched when there was that explosion. Weren't you surprised? It's up to the monitor to tell us to move or not. You see, good reaction. He's well trained.
On apprend de choses qu'un jour ça peut arriver.
Well, we might get ordered to go anywhere. So you train for things that might really happen. The NCOs here, they bust our balls. But luckily for us, one day we'll be glad they taught us all this. The blaring music is to destabilize the soldiers. It's a way of making it seem like a guerrilla camp. Everyone gets the treatment, and the interrogation methods are far from gentle. A piece of wood is forced between their fingers and snapped.
¿No te gusta mi música, amigo? ¿Por qué viene a mi país entonces? ¿Gusta o no gusta? ¿Por qué viene a mi país?
Where you come from? Which country? It might shock, yeah. It might, and certainly for them, they don't know why this is happening. It's to see how they react. That they have to show control and not to let their aggression towards me at the time get the better of them. Control the situation, control your feelings. You're trained to be aggressive, but paid to keep it in check if necessary. Very well paid. You got 10 seconds to get into the canoes. The legionnaires will now face the rigors of survival in the jungle. The instructors order them into canoes and to keep their heads down so they can't see where they are. The exercise will last 72 hours, without food and with just a minimal amount of equipment. Yeah, look at this. What more could you want? You have the whole jungle to feed from. No hammocks, no mosquito nets, and clothes that are soaking wet. In order to get some sleep and some protection from the rain, insects and snakes, the men are going to have to build shelters, using whatever is to hand. And for food, they'll also need to make do with whatever they find, in this case, the edible part of a palm tree. It's the second day without proper food. Corporal Yu has a temperature. Damn, it's bad. Do you feel cold? I think you might have to go back with the NCO. No, I want to stay. You see, he doesn't want to appear weak. He wants to see it through to the end. And I'm sure there are other men who are ill but won't say anything. They see the light at the end of the tunnel and they don't want to give up now. Okay, you. So, what's up? Headache. Since when? Since the morning. Hey, you're missing your rum, right? You're feeling sad? We have a trainee here with a fever between 38 and 39 degrees. I'm going to bring him in. He'll need to go into hospital. Lopez is concerned that Corporal Yu may have contracted malaria, which can be fatal if not treated quickly. Have you already had malaria? You want to go back to your comrades, huh? Yes, I want to go back. It's not up to him anymore. Sending someone who's got a 39-degree fever out onto a survival course isn't a very good idea. You better stay here. It's what the civilians would do. The army would say differently, but they're the ones who are calling the shots, so stay put. Corporal Yu tested negative for malaria, but the medics think he has dengue fever, an equally dangerous viral infection also caused by mosquitoes. He's to be transferred to Kuru for treatment and recovery. Nights are very long out here. 12 hours, in fact. It's a chance to assess their mental condition. They think about a lot of things out here, being so far away from their homes. At night, legionnaires usually think of their childhood and growing up, and they dream in their own languages.
vous rêvez encore
And do you still dream in your mother tongue, even after 22 years in the Legion? Sometimes, but I've become institutionalized, so not too often.
Qu'est-ce qu'elle vous a apporté?
What has the Legion meant to you? So much. It's a way of life. It's 20 years, that's a whole life. And what did the Legion get out of you? Well, it's taken a lot from me, an awful lot. Still, the way I look at it is that when I joined up, the Legion wasn't better off with me, and so that when I leave, the Legion won't be any worse off without me. Ten days into their jungle training, and the third day without food. The men are starting to weaken. Warrant Officer Lopez decides that now's the time to move camp. All right, gather up the equipment, we're moving. It was a move that wasn't on the program. See, all their smiles have vanished now. They don't understand. And this is not good news for Legionnaire Gamba from Senegal. The platoon has to reach the new encampment on a makeshift raft that they themselves built. And Gamba doesn't know how to swim. You're going to go in the water even if you don't know how to swim? Well, if we have to, we have to. Whether you can swim or not. Where are you going? Stay back. Don't get in the way. A 1.5 hour long journey down the river lies ahead, but on empty stomachs, it's a major effort. Struggling in the water, Gamba is doing his best, but is barely keeping afloat. Legionnaires have to know how to swim, especially for duty in rainforests like Guyana. Warrant Officer Lopez decides to test Gamba one last time. What happens if he can't make it? Well, he won't get his grade. He'll be considered unfit for jungle warfare. To get his promotion, Gamba will need to swim at least 50 meters, which is the width of the river.
Allez, les gens du troisième groupe commencent à avancer ici, là.
Continue. Allez, regarde la berge là, vas-y.
Gamba makes one final effort, but by halfway across, he's in serious trouble. So what happened, Gamba? The current was too strong, sir. I didn't have the strength anymore. You didn't have the strength anymore? That's when your head takes over. It's a matter of willpower. I want it, so I'll get it.
Vous continuez malgré tout là?
Are you going to carry on anyway? I will. I'm going to finish this. Gamba will need to learn to swim and then take the training course a second time. To succeed, he'll need to undergo every step of the training all over again.
Okay.
It's the fourth day without food and the last of the 2-week-long course. Come on, lift. Sweat's good for you. It saves your blood and tears. Your mother's tears. To finish, the instructor is organizing the carrying of a makeshift stretcher, a 2-hour march through dense jungle terrain.
Où est-ce qu'on la trouve, là?
Where do you find the strength to carry on? I don't know, somewhere inside, I suppose. But they find it. It's the adrenaline. Everyone's stronger than they think they are. It's tough, but it's a reminder that this is what you wanted to do. The Legion didn't call up and say, hey, we need you. Come on over. You're the one that joined up for 5 years, so you just shut your mouth and get on with it. The second platoon has more or less finished its training. But Warrant Officer Lopez still has plans for Legionnaire Porter, the young Frenchman. Did you bring much porter? Not much, sir. Not enough? Well, here, go on. My comrades deserve better than this. You don't want my water? Well, your comrades are going to suffer. Come on. Take it.
Encore un test?
Is that another test? I want to make sure he's suitable. Well, he's better. His willpower is good, even if his physically is still a little weak. But I think he's determined, and he'll force himself to go further than he thought he could. Training has to be tough. Otherwise, how will we know how they react in tough circumstances? I know one or two that might drop out, but this is the only way. The training has to be hard. Very hard. A sheep is never going to eat meat, right? And here we want hunters. We train them to be predators. To eat meat, if you will. But without hate. A predator doesn't hate his prey. Aggressive, yes. Control and discipline, yes. But no hate. Okay, men, this is the final physical trial. It's all in your heads now, since you've probably not got much left in your bodies. Don't ask, just do it. For 2 weeks, the Legionnaires of the 2nd Platoon have coped with all the challenges that have been thrown at them during the training course. Lieutenant Agboton, the platoon commander, has come to know the men who'll be under his orders for the next 2 years. Corporal Kim has finished in 2nd place in the overall standings after the course and will undergo further training to become a jungle warfare instructor himself. Legionnaire Porter finally did get his grade. And Corporal Patterson from England, the 6-year Legion veteran, achieved what he had come to Guyana to find. Adventure and inner strength.
Sube, sube! Hey! 1, 2, 3, 4! 1, 2, 3, 4! 1, 2, 3, 4! C'est là!
Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan. After more than 2.5 decades of war, an uneasy peace has finally been reached. A multinational force, the ISAF, the International Security Afghanistan Force, helps maintain law and order under NATO command. Amongst them, 500 soldiers from the French Foreign Legion. Their mission is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If fighting breaks out, they'll be in the front line. The main threat is terrorism. On this particular day, ISAF troops have come under fire while guarding the airport. The 2nd Legion's Infantry Regiment deploys for a manhunt. Leading the hunt, ISAF Apache helicopters who relay instructions and observations to the Legionnaires on the ground. Stay in position, will be guided by the Apaches. Captain Pelabeuf is in command of the 4th Company and orders his troops via radio. Lieutenant Pascal is in charge of the 2nd Platoon. Your mission is to intercept suspect elements. Only fire in legitimate self-defense. The chase takes the Legionnaires to the village of Tarakel, 2 kilometers from the airport and a former Taliban stronghold. It's a maze of small streets and houses protected by high walls.
voyez la petite tour?
You see that little tower?
Il est ici.
That's where he is.
Il a rampé tout à l'heure, il a regardé à plusieurs reprises discrètement.
He was looking out a little while ago, but now we can't quite see him. If he opens fire, fire back immediately.
J'attends maintenant un interprète pour
I have to wait for an interpreter so I can liaise with the local police and go inside the compound.
d'entamer, de pénétrer dans l'enceinte.
Afghan police enter the village, and the legionnaires have to maintain their positions. They are not allowed to use their weapons. The ISAF mission ground rules mean they can only provide backup to local authorities and only fire in self-defense. Everyone's now waiting for the chief of police. And finally he shows up at nighttime. The legionnaires can finally enter the house, but cameras are not allowed. Inside, the suspect has inevitably disappeared. But in the courtyard, a well has attracted Captain Pellebeuf's attention.
Il y a quelle profondeur là? 15 mètres?
How deep would you say that is? 15 meters? The captain is intrigued by the fact the well is dry, in the middle of the rainy season.
Fouille intérieure terminée, on regarde une dernière photo.
Interior search finished, sir.
Votre P4 arrive.
The troops have to withdraw empty-handed.
Oui.
What's happening, Captain?
La personne a disparu.
Well, the suspect has vanished, probably escaped down the well, which in turn leads to a series of underground passageways.
Probablement sur une galerie souterraine. Voilà, je n'en sais pas plus, si ce n'est que maintenant c'est la partie de relation avec les autorités.
Well, now we've got to maintain our relationships with the local authorities, but hopefully we'll be able to come back and check out all the underground galleries properly. But for now I have to pull out. Well, the mission, yes, it is a little ambiguous. Everyone's rushing about in different directions.
Donc ils sont à la fois voilà, bref.
The captain ends the conversation there. He is duty-bound to say no more, and he never did get the opportunity to search the well properly. Base camp for the 2nd Regiment is at Kabul Airport, where they serve a 4-month tour of duty. One more exile for these men who have already abandoned their homelands and families. In Captain Pellebeuf's unit, most of the soldiers are from outside France. Corporal Lesko, 29, is from Slovakia. Well, it's like being back in barracks here. It's what we're used to. We get on each other's nerves sometimes, but we drink together and then we fight together. Everything. It's the same as in any family. There are good moments and bad. And every family has its head, right? A father figure. Yeah, so do we. See? The sergeants order the corporals, like me, and the corporals order the privates. That's the way it is. One big happy family. And in the 4th Company's family, the smallest has only 9 months under his belt. But he's quite a baby, almost 2 meters tall. He's from Argentina, and it was his taste for tattoos that made him want to join the Foreign Legion. You see, in my country, this isn't allowed in the army. That's why I'm here. His whole torso has tattoos. Go on, show him, Fernandez. To enroll in the Green Berets, Fernandez has had to make a lot of sacrifices. To join up? Well, I had to sell everything. My car, my computer, just to buy the airplane ticket. It's very expensive for people like me. So you abandoned everything? Well, I have a CD player and a bag with an old uniform in. That's it. On duty in Afghanistan, the legionnaires rarely get the chance to put on their coveted white kepis. But today is payday. While on duty anywhere outside of France, the legionnaires receive double pay, the equivalent of about $3,000 a month. This morning, though, they will be entitled to just $350 pocket money, distributed by the captain himself. Permission to enter, sir. In the Foreign Legion, the rituals are set in stone. And the time-honored ritual is that the pay goes into the kepi.
C'est un rituel qui a son importance où c'est effectivement le chef.
It's quite an important ceremony, really. The senior officers deals with issuing the legionnaire with a pay that he's earned.
Ritualisé et chaque geste a son.
Every move is part of the ceremony. At your convenience, Captain. The legionnaires come from all over the world. They're mixed up with all sorts of other nationalities. So the ritual is a form of common language, something they can all relate to.
Qui a un sens.
At your convenience, Captain. Like his fellow officers, Captain Belabov is a stickler for the traditions of the Foreign Legion. Wherever he is posted, he takes with him portraits of his commanding officers and of General Rollet, the founding father of the Legion's spirit.
Esprit de la Légion,
the esprit de corps of the Legion is pride in a job well done, and completing it no matter what. It's about the military virtues, physical as well as moral courage.
Le courage physique et le courage moral.
It's respecting your superior officers and discipline. And I admire the notion of respect of more senior ranks as it works both ways. It's respect in the martial and virile sense, whereby orders are followed without hesitation and all the way, and where the senior officer, without showing it, respects his subordinates to the point where, if he has to order them in the worst case,